Nathan Cole was just an ordinary man. He lived in a small apartment in Chicago, worked as a systems analyst, and spent his free time watching sci-fi movies and ordering pizza. He didn't have a girlfriend, no pets, and his life felt quiet. Maybe too quiet. One day, Nathan saw an ad online that said, "Discover your true origins. DNA Galaxy Test. Limited Earth Offer." It looked funny and weird, but Nathan was bored. He clicked the link, paid a small fee, and sent in a saliva sample. A week later, everything changed. It was a rainy Tuesday evening when Nathan got the email. He was sipping coffee and working on a broken database for a client. His inbox pinged. Subject: Test result to 99.9% galactic match found. Nathan blinked. Galactic. He clicked it open. Congratulations, Nathan Cole. A 99.9% DNA match has been confirmed. As per the Treaty of Lineage Recovery Velzen Royal Decree 47G, you are now recognized as the rightful heir of the Andari dynasty, an official. Representative will arrive shortly to escort you to the Velzen Wormhole throne. What the? He whispered, laughing. Musty spam. Just as he deleted the message, the lights in his apartment flickered. A low hum filled the air. Suddenly, a glowing silver orb appeared in the middle of his living room. It floated silently, then unfolded like a flower. From inside it stepped a tall, alien figure humanoid with silvery robes and a beard made of soft blue tentacles. The being bowed deeply. "Greetings, Prince Nathan of House Andari," the alien said in perfect English. "I am Greltek, Royal Ambassador of Velzen Prime. Your DNA has awakened the key of inheritance. You must come with me." Nathan stood up, wide-eyed. "What? What is this? Are you real?" Greltok smiled gently. "Indeed. And your presence is required at once. The galaxy has waited long for your return." Nathan didn't believe it. At first he thought it was a prank, maybe a hidden camera show. But Greltek answered every question with calm, wise patience. The ambassador explained that long ago, an alien prince named Kelzan disappeared during a secret visit to Earth. His DNA was stored in the Royal Archive, and when Nathan submitted his own sample, it triggered an emergency protocol. The prince was believed dead. But now, a 99.9% genetic match had been found. Ethan. "Your genes are nearly identical," Greltak said. "You are either the lost prince reborn, or a miracle of fate." Before Nathan could protest more, Greltak raised a crystal device. It glowed bright, and suddenly the wall behind them shimmered. A swirling blue portal opened, calm, circular, and beautiful like a frozen whirlpool in space. "This is a wormhole," Greltak explained. "One of the last stable ones. It connects our galaxy to yours. Only royalty may activate it." "You just did." Nathan's mouth went dry. "So, if I walk through that thing, I go to another world?" "Yes," the ambassador nodded. "Velzen Prime, capital of the Wormhole Kingdoms. Your home." Nathan stared at the wormhole. Didn't feel like a joke anymore. And if I don't go, then Velzen loses its claim to peace. Civil war may rise. And Earth's access to trade, technology, and future wormhole routes will be blocked. Nathan blinked. "You're blackmailing me?" Greltak shook his head. "We are asking you. Because without you, millions will suffer. You are not. Just to match you our hope." Nathan sat down, holding his head. This was insane. He was just a guy who fixed spreadsheets and watched superhero movies. Not a prince, not a leader, but something deep in his heart stirred. A feeling he didn't expect - curiosity. What if this was real? What if this was the reason his life felt so stuck? Maybe he didn't belong behind a desk. Maybe he was meant for something more. He looked up. "How long is the trip?" "Only seconds through the wormhole. But time flows differently. A day here, maybe a week there." Nathan took a deep breath. "And I'll come back?" Greltok paused. "You may, but your path will not be the same." Nathan stood slowly. He walked to the edge of the portal. It was warm and humming softly, like a living thing. He turned back once. Looking at his messy apartment, the blinking router, and the half-eaten pizza on his desk. "Guess I won't need my laptop," he whispered, and with one step forward, Nathan Cole disappeared into the wormhole. Nathan Cole opened his eyes slowly. He was lying on a soft silver bed, the ceiling above glowing like a calm blue sky. Strange lights danced on the walls, and the air smelled like flowers and clean water. It wasn't Earth. It was something new. Something alien but peaceful. He sat up and looked around. The room was beautiful, round in shape, with floating lights and a window showing two suns rising over a floating city. Strange flying vehicles moved through the air, and tall white towers stood on hovering islands. This was Velzen Prime, the capital of the Wormhole Empire. Suddenly, the door opened. Greltic, the alien ambassador, stepped in. "You have arrived safely, Prince Nathan." Nathan rubbed his head. "So, this wasn't a dream, no." Greltuk smiled. "This is your royal chamber. You are now officially recognized as the heir of the Andari dynasty." Nathan stood up and walked to the window. "It's beautiful and scary." Greltic nodded. "You have a busy day ahead. Council of Elders is waiting, and there is someone you must meet." Nathan raised an eyebrow. "Who?" A few hours later, Nathan was dressed in a formal royal-robed dark blue with glowing silver threads. He walked through a large hall filled with alien nobles, guards, and scientists. Everyone was watching him with curious eyes. At the front of the room stood a woman tall, strong, and dressed in gold armor. She had glowing tattoos on her arms and short dark hair. Her eyes were sharp, and she didn't look happy. "This," Greltek said, "is Lady Thalixa. She is the High Commander of the Starblades. And you're betrothed." Nathan froze. "My what?" "You're betrothed," Greltok repeated. "You were promised to her by royal law. The late prince was engaged to Lady Thalixa before he vanished. And since you carry the prince's DNA, the agreement stands." Nathan stared at Thalixa. She didn't smile. In fact, she looked like she wanted to punch him. "I'm sorry," Nathan said nervously, "but I didn't agree to any of this. I didn't even know you existed until yesterday." Thalixa crossed her arms. "You are not the man I expected." "Well, I didn't expect to be someone's fiancé," Nathan replied. The Council of Elders watched quietly. Some nodded. Others frowned. Greltek whispered to Nathan, "We understand this is strange, but your presence brings stability. You do not need to marry now, but showing unity with Thalixa may stop the noble houses from fighting." Nathan sighed. "So you're saying if I don't play nice, the galaxy might fall apart?" Greltek nodded slowly. After the meeting, Nathan was taken to the royal gardens of Floating Park with waterfalls, glowing trees, and peaceful music playing from the air itself. He was told someone else wanted to meet him. A boy walked toward him. He looked about 9 years old, with silver eyes and short black hair. He wore a royal tunic and had a serious look on his face. "This," Greltak said softly, "is Kale. He is your son." Nathan's eyes widened. I have a son," Kale stepped forward. "I was made using the prince's DNA before he disappeared. I was born from the royal labs. I've trained to become the next ruler." Nathan knelt down. "But I'm not the real prince." Kale tilted his head. "You're 99.9% the same. That means you're close enough." To say he had never been a father, wasn't even good at babysitting. Now this serious, smart, alien child was calling him Dad, not with love, but like it was a job title. Kale looked at him carefully. "You're different. You don't walk like a prince, you talk like a civilian. You're not weak. I saw you in the trial records." "Trial?" Nathan asked. "You activated the wormhole," Kale said. "Only royalty can do that." "That means something." Nathan gave a small smile. "Maybe it does." Later that night, Nathan sat on a balcony outside his room, staring at the stars. Felt overwhelmed. In one day, he had gained a new home, a fiancé, and a son. And everyone expected him to lead. He heard soft footsteps behind him. It was Lady Thalixa. "You're not like Kelzan," she said. He was a warrior, calm, controlled. "I'm just Nathan," he replied. "I work with spreadsheets. I don't even know how to use a sword." Thalixa didn't laugh, but her expression softened slightly. You risked everything to come here. That's brave. Nathan looked at her. I didn't come to be king. I came because I felt like I didn't belong on Earth, like something was missing. You might find it here, Thalixa said, but only if you stop running. She left without another word. That night, Nathan dreamed of wormholes, glowing tunnels connecting planets, systems, and entire galaxies. But in the center of it all stood a figure that looked like him, wearing a crown of stars. When he woke up, the first thing he did was visit Kale. Hey, he said awkwardly. I don't know how to be a dad, but I'd like to try. Kale stared at him for a long moment. Then he gave a small nod. That's a start. Nathan Cole was now a prince, a father, and a future king. But he still felt like a lost tourist. The palace staff called him Your Highness. Guards followed him. Robots cleaned after him. Kale, his 9-year-old son, watched him. With sharp eyes like a tiny general, Lady Thalixa, his warrior fiancée, kept asking him questions about battle tactics, which he usually answered with awkward jokes. He was trying his best. But it was hard. Very hard. Each morning, Nathan went through prince training. There were classes on alien law, wormhole physics, ancient royal customs, and diplomacy across galaxies. It was like college, but in space, Kale was always in class with him, correcting Nathan when he made mistakes. Wrong answer, Kale said one day. That gesture means surrender, not hello. Nathan sighed. Great, I just waved at the captain of a battleship and accidentally gave up the throne. Even Kale smirked a little. After class, Nathan tried to spend time with Kale outside of school. One afternoon, he brought Kale to the palace kitchen. Today we're learning something important, Nathan said. What, pancakes? Kale looked confused. What are pancakes? Nathan smiled. They're warm, round, sweet, and they fix everything. Together they cooked. Nathan mixed the ingredients while Kale watched closely, even scanning the batter with a handheld device. When they ate the first pancakes, Kale's eyes lit up. This is very good, he said. Nathan smiled. Earth's finest comfort food. For the first time, Kale laughed softly. Nathan realized something important. Maybe he didn't need to be a perfect prince. Maybe he just needed to be real. But peace didn't last long. That night, Greltek called an emergency meeting. The wormhole gates are weakening, he said. Another collapse happened near the Yalara system. A science vessel was lost. Nathan sat up straighter. Why is this happening? Alexa explained. The wormhole network was created by your ancestors. It is connected to the royal bloodline. If no ruler takes the throne soon, the entire system will collapse, and people will be trapped across the galaxy, Nathan asked. Yes, Greltak nodded. Or worse, some planets may fall into war again. Another problem was rising. A group called the Hollow Void. They believed the throne should remain empty forever. They wanted all wormhole routes destroyed, so each species could live alone. They attacked a supply ship last week, Thalixa said, and they're planning more. Nathan felt the pressure building. He had come here by accident. But now millions of lives were depending on him. He walked outside alone that night, looking up at the stars. A soft voice spoke behind him. You're thinking too much, Kale said. Nathan smiled. Isn't that what princes do? Kale sat next to him. You saved the refugee fleet last week. That wasn't a prince thing. That was a human thing, Nathan remembered. The Hollow Void had disabled a wormhole near a refugee station. No one knew what to do. Nathan had used old Earth logic turning off the station's gravity to float the people through a back route. It had worked. Maybe being human isn't such a bad thing, Nathan said. Kale nodded. I don't care if you're the real prince. You're my dad now. Nathan looked at the boy with surprise. It was the first time Kale had said that from the heart. The next day, the Council of Elders invited Nathan to join a royal ceremony to prove his readiness. He would guide a small fleet through a collapsing wormhole, a test of leadership, courage, and trust. Everyone expected him to fail, but Nathan had a plan. Instead of leading the fleet from the command ship, He asked Kale to co-pilot and let Thalexa lead the guards. Nathan would fly a small ship at the front. Trust is earned, he said. Let's earn it together. The wormhole shimmered like a storm as they approached. Waves of unstable energy pulsed around them. Engines at 80%, Kale said. We'll lose control if we go too fast. I know, Nathan replied. Ready the pulse beacons? Thalexa's voice came through the radio. You don't have to do this alone? I know, Nathan said again. That's why I'm not alone. They entered the wormhole. It shook and twisted around them. Alarms flashed. Kale's hands moved quickly over the controls, sending pulse beacons. Now Kale shouted. The small machines released waves of energy, creating a safe path through the chaos. The fleet followed behind, but halfway through, a hollow void drone appeared and blocked the path. It's jamming the pulse signals, Thalexa warned. We're losing our route, Kale said. We'll crash. Nathan took a deep breath and did something no prince had done before. He shut off the ship's systems for a second, making the drone lose its lock. Then he powered back on and blasted forward, straight through the weak point. The drone was destroyed, and the fleet passed safely. They came out the other side. The wormhole remained open. Cheers broke out on every ship back at the palace. The council met again. Elder Veron, the oldest among them, spoke slowly. You are not Kelzin, but you are something new. A bridge between the old world is a better one. Nathan was officially named Prince Function, temporary ruler until the final trial. Thalexa met him afterward. Her usual stern look softer. You're still strange, she said. Nathan grinned. But useful, she nodded, perhaps, and brave. Nathan looked at her carefully. Do you still want to be betrothed to a spreadsheet guy? Thalexa didn't answer right away. See how you do in the next battle first. That night, Kale walked into Nathan's room without knocking. Next time I want to fly the lead ship. Nathan chuckled. Deal. But only if you finish your Earth history lesson first. Kale rolled his eyes but smiled. For the first time, the palace felt like home. Nathan Cole was finally getting used to palace life. He now knew how to speak some of the royal language. He could eat alien food without looking confused. And Kayla's 9-year-old clone son had started calling him Dad more often than Subject 47B. Nathan had earned the title of Prince Function, a temporary ruler, after saving a fleet through a dangerous wormhole. For the first time, he felt he belonged here. But peace never lasted long in space. It began with a simple meeting. Nathan sat at the royal round table with the Council of Elders. Greltok stood behind him. Kale and Lady Thalexa were seated too. His right. Elder Veron spoke in a deep voice. Another wormhole collapsed near the Artaxi system. Over 1,000 ships are stranded. The cause is sabotage. Nathan leaned forward. The hollow void again? Yes, Greltek answered. They are growing stronger. They believe wormholes are unnatural. They want to end all travel between worlds. They're wrong, Nathan said. These wormholes connect people. Without them, the galaxy falls apart. But many believe. Their message, Thalexa added. The hollow void says no ruler has the right to control travel. Even some noble houses quietly support them. Nathan stood. Then it's time we show them we don't want control. We want connection. We need new ideas, not just royal commands. The room fell silent. A young elder Maeve spoke. Don't talk like a human, not a prince. Nathan looked around. Maybe that's what we need. Someone who understands both. Later, Nathan visited the Hall of Archives, an ancient library filled with glowing books and floating memory crystals. He had a strange feeling in his chest, like something was missing. He told the royal librarian, a soft-spoken AI named Luma. I want to know more about Kelzin the prince I'm cloned from. What happened to him? Luma's eyes blinked. Slowly, access restricted, but royal key accepted, showing last known data. A floating image appeared. It showed a young man who looked just like Nathan, but taller and more graceful. He was in a small ship above Earth. The recording played. Earth is not ready, Prince, Kelson said. But they are brave. I will stop the Council's plan to harvest their energy grid. If I die, let it be for them. Then the screen went dark, Nathan's jaw dropped. He died saving Earth. Luma nodded. He disobeyed the old council. They erased his memory from history. But now that you've returned, the truth is restored. Nathan sat down slowly. His heart was heavy. I'm not just some lucky DNA match, he whispered. I'm the next chapter of his story. Meanwhile, the Hollow Void attacked again. This time, they didn't go after ships. They attacked the Velzen Peace Summit. Where leaders from across the galaxy had gathered, explosions rocked the Sky Palace. Guards rushed everywhere. Nathan, Kale, and Thalixa were separated in the chaos. Kale hid inside a shield dome with two small alien children. He reached out with his mind, using his telepathic gift to calm them. Nathan and Thalixa fought side by side. For someone who still didn't like holding weapons, Nathan moved fast, dodging lasers and pulling people to safety. Thalixa covered him like a shadow, taking down enemies with her twin blades. A Hollow Void fighter cornered them in a hall. You're not the real Prince. The masked attacker shouted at Nathan. You're a fake lab copy. You don't deserve the throne. Nathan stood tall. Maybe I'm not him, but I'm here. And I'm not running. He pressed a panel on the wall and released an energy blast that knocked the attacker unconscious. After the attack, the council blamed Nathan. You failed to protect the summit. One elder shouted. This proves the Hollow Void is right. Troyal blood only brings war. Another added. Nathan stood up and faced them. You want me to act like the old rulers? He said. But look where that got you. Secrets, lies, broken. Wormholes. I won't pretend. I'm not the old prince. I'm something new. He turned to Kale, who had just entered the room. The boy stepped forward, stood straight, and spoke clearly. My father saved lives today, Kale said. It taught me that being royal means protecting people, even if it's hard. Kale's voice was being recorded and broadcast. The entire galaxy was watching. He's not a clone, Kale said. He's my dad, and I choose him. The council was silent. The people across the systems began sending messages of support. After the meeting, Nathan sat on the balcony again, looking at the stars. Thalixa joined him. You were brave today, she said, but reckless. Nathan smiled. Isn't that my style? Thalixa sat beside him. You've changed. When you first arrived, I thought you were weak, but now I think I was wrong. Nathan looked at her. Does that mean you're okay with the betrothal now? She didn't answer. Instead, she looked up at the sky. Let's survive the next crisis first, then we'll talk. Nathan laughed softly, but the crisis was already here. Greltek rushed in. His face was pale. The main wormhole gate is collapsing, he said. If it shuts down, the entire wormhole network will fall with it. Nathan stood up fast.
Oh.
How do we stop it? The throne circuit must be activated, Greltek said. But it requires a full air, and the energy could kill you. Kale stepped forward. I'll do it. Nathan shook his head. No, you're a kid. Kale's voice was steady. I'm the heir too. Nathan knelt down. Now let me try first. I'm the one who made this mess. Kale hugged him tightly. He didn't make the mess. He just walked into it, tried to fix it. Nathan hugged him back, and let's fix it together. The main wormhole, gate the heart of the galaxy's travel system, was breaking apart. Blue lightning sparked across the sky. Space itself twisted and groaned. If the gate fully collapsed, millions of people would be trapped across galaxies, and many worlds would fall into chaos. Only one thing could stop it, the throne circuit. It's an ancient machine deep beneath the palace. It needed a ruler with royal DNA to activate it. But using it could drain the life of the person who tried. Nathan Cole, the human from Earth, stood before the council and made a choice. I'll do it, he said. Gasps filled the room. You may die, Greltek warned. Nathan nodded. If I don't try, the galaxy dies instead. Thalixa and Kale followed Nathan down to the throne chamber, a hidden place built deep under Velzen Prime. The walls were lined with glowing metal and moving lights. In the center stood a tall silver chair covered in symbols and ancient wiring. The inheritance flame test comes first, Thalixa said. It will scan your heart, not just your blood. I thought this was just about DNA, Nathan said. Real rulers are chosen, not just born. Nathan stepped forward. The throne came to life, surrounding him in a bright ring of light. The room melted away. He found himself standing in a dark space, alone. This was the inheritance flamma. Mental test. Nathan looked around. Slowly, images appeared. Earth, on fire. Cities crumbling. People crying for help. He heard voices. You left us, Nathan. You ran away. You're not a hero. Nathan wanted to close his eyes, but he stood still. No, he said. I didn't run. I just didn't know where I belonged. The scene changed. He saw himself as a child, small, forgotten, sitting alone in a school lunchroom. Then he saw himself saving Kale from the hollow void, teaching him how to make pancakes, risking his life in the wormhole battle. You're not a prince, eh? Voice whispered. Just a man pretending. Nathan stepped forward. Maybe, but I chose to help. I chose to stay. I chose to protect a galaxy that wasn't even mine. A warm light wrapped around him. The voice faded. And then silence. Nathan opened his eyes. He was back in the throne room. Lexa and Kale stared at him. You passed, Thalexa said softly. The throne circuit hummed. It accepted him. His hand fit into a glowing slot on the side. As he touched it, energy flowed through him. Symbols lit up. The main wormhole gate began to stabilize, showing colors of life instead of chaos. But Nathan groaned. The energy was too much. His body felt like it was burning. I can't hold it, he whispered. Kale rushed forward. Let me help. No, Nathan gasped. It'll hurt you. I'm your son, Kale said. You said we'd fix it together. Kale placed his hand next to Nathan's. A second wave of light filled the room. The throne glowed brighter, but this time it didn't feel deadly. The energy became warm, calm, and alive. Together, they balanced it. Father and son. The wormhole gate across the galaxy blinked back into perfect shape. Ships began to move again. Trade resumed. Families reunited. Every screen across the stars showed the same message. The throne lives. Hope returns. After the ceremony, the council held one last vote. Elder Veron stood. Nathan Cole is not just a match. He's not just a visitor. He is not just a name. He turned to Nathan. You are now the crowned conductor of the wormhole throne. First ruler by choice, not by birth. The palace bells rang. Across 100 worlds, people cheered. Even planets that once doubted him now saw Nathan as a symbol of change, courage, and unity. Later that evening, Alexa stood with Nathan in the royal garden. Stars above them were calm now, no longer shaking. You did something no prince ever did, she said. Nathan laughed softly. Almost died. No, she replied, shared power. Let someone help you. Nathan looked at her. And what about us? Delixa smiled for the first time. I don't want a political marriage. I want someone who fights beside me. He nodded. Then, let's start there. She held out her hand. Not as betrothed, as equals. He took her hand. Kale watched. Them from a distance, then turned back to his room. He opened a small device and recorded a message. To every child out there who thinks they don't belong, who thinks they're just a copy or a mistake, remember this. You don't have to be born into greatness. You can choose it. The next morning, Nathan sat on his new throne this time, without fear. He wore a dark blue suit made from both earth fabric and royal Velzen silk. A crown floated gently above his head, powered by light instead of weight. Kale stood beside him, holding a staff. Delixa stood to his right, now called Galactic Guardian Commander. The royal AI announced, First Order of the New King. Nathan smiled. Open the wormholes. All of them. Let the galaxy talk again. Nathan Cole had done the impossible. Came from Earth as an ordinary man. Now he sat on the wormhole, thrown not by blood, but by heart, courage, and choice. The galaxy called him the Human King. But peace was still fragile. The wormhole. Network was open again, trade was flowing, and hope had returned. Yet danger always waits in the shadows. A whisper spread through the stars. The hollow void is not finished. One evening, inside the royal war hall, alarms began to ring. Thalixa ran in first. Unusual energy spikes at Gate 0, the original wormhole. Something's trying to break through it from the outside. Kale followed, looking serious. This isn't a normal attack. Something bigger. Nathan stood from his throne. What do we know? Greltak pulled up a hologram. It showed Gate 0 twisting in strange colors. Red and black lightning flickering across the ancient metal. A being from another dimension is forcing its way in, Greltak said. Something we've never seen before, not hollow void. Something older. Nathan narrowed his eyes. Is it intelligent? Kale touched his temple and spoke carefully. Yes, it's looking for me. And you. Nathan and his team flew to Gate 0 in the royal ship. Unities flamed. As they approached, the stars around the wormhole darkened. A strange voice echoed across their systems. False Prince, hybrid Heir. Your time has ended. The voice wasn't loud, but it felt like cold wind in their minds. Kale grabbed his father's hand. It knows we changed the throne circuit. It wants to take control. Thalixa stood at the controls. If it enters our universe, it could destroy everything. Nathan looked out at the twisting wormhole. Then we stop it, together. The ship flew into the heart of the wormhole gate. Inside, they saw it a shadow being, shifting like smoke and metal. It had no face but many eyes. It called itself Nullian, an ancient mind left behind when the wormholes were first created. I was part of the first code, Nullian said. You rewrote it? Now I rewrite you. Sent out waves of dark energy attacking their ship. It dropped. Sparks flew. Nathan turned to Kale. We need to use the throne link. Kale nodded. If we combine our minds through the network, we might reach the wormhole's core and fight it from inside. Thalixa looked concerned. That could burn your minds out. Nathan smiled. Wouldn't be the first time something tried. Nathan and Kale joined hands and focused. The throne link connected them to the wormhole web, a glowing net stretching across the galaxy. They flew through it as minds of light, reaching the center of the storm there. They saw Nullian's core, a black cube of broken code and anger. You do not belong, Nullian said. You are a copy. A mistake. I'm not a mistake, Nathan said calmly. I'm a choice. So is Kale. So is every person who decides to help instead of harm. Kale stepped forward. You were forgotten for a reason. The galaxy moved on. The core sent out a final blast of dark power. But Nathan and Kale held their ground. They sent out a wave of pure memory images of Earth, of unity, of pancakes, of saving lives, of choosing peace. The wormhole web responded. The cube cracked, then shattered. Nullian's voice faded. The storm ended. Back in the real world, Thalixa pulled Nathan and Kale from the throne link interface. Both were weak, but alive. Greltek's voice came through the cum. The gates are stable again. Nullian is gone. You did it. Nathan smiled, still catching his breath. We did it, together. A week later, a great celebration took place in the capital. Every system sent gifts and messages. Even old enemies sent peace flags. Nathan stood on the palace balcony, holding Kale's hand. Beside them stood Thalixa, now Commander General of the Galactic Union. He looked at the crowd and began to speak. I came here as a stranger. A man with no crown, no sword, and no idea what I was doing, but I learned something important. He paused. Being royal doesn't come from blood. It comes from choices. Every person in this galaxy deserves to be seen, heard, and protected. That is the future I will build. The crowd roared. Later that night, Nathan and Thalixa sat under the stars. In the royal garden? So, she asked, still afraid of wormholes? Nathan chuckled. Only slightly. She looked at him. And what about us? He took her hand. I don't want to marry because of duty. I want to marry because I choose. You. She smiled. Then say it. Nathan looked into her eyes. I choose you. She leaned forward and kissed him gentle, certain. Inside, Kale recorded a final message to Earth. My name is Kale of House Kolandari. I am the son of a man who came from your world and changed ours. He didn't do it with weapons. He did it with love, learning, and courage. That's what being human means. He smiled and sent the message into space. In the weeks that followed, Nathan started a new council, one with humans, aliens, and even AI. He opened Wormhole academies for young explorers. Earth was now part of the galactic network, not just as a visitor, but as a builder. And on the Wormhole throne sat a man who once thought he was nobody, but became a king by choice. Final line. Nathan Cole never expected a DNA test to change his life, but it didn't just rewrite his future. It connected the stars.